What is up, y'all? Welcome back to 9 to 5 Gamers, and today is Top 10 Tuesday, which means we're going to go through another Top 10 list. Every single Tuesday, we go through our Top 10 list, and this week, we happen to be going through our top 100 games of all time, and so this episode, we are going to be going through my number 60 through 51. We're getting very close, and I know these are the times where people don't usually watch these videos. I know we could get more views on these videos, but these videos are my favorite videos to watch. I love watching top 10 lists, and so I always want to make sure that top 10 lists are a part of everything that I do. Even if it's like a weekly thing, I want to make 52 top 10 lists throughout the year, because there should be one at least every single week, because I think that's what people enjoy. People enjoy these top 10s. And so with that said, let's get into it. But before that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our memberships, which are a very, very low price of $3 a month. And you get a lot of extra perks, including early access to my videos, plus exclusive videos, and a bunch of other cool content. So please check that out. Would love to have more members so we can be fully funded as a channel. With that said, let's get into it. Top 10. All right. So starting off with my number 60, which is Star Wars Outer Rim. Now, this game box looks super faded. This is actually a copy that my friend let me borrow, but then didn't want it back, I suppose. But Star Wars Outer Rim, incredible pick up and deliver game. Basically, you are a bounty hunter who's going around the Outer Rim of the Star Wars universe, and you are picking up cargo. Sometimes that cargo is people, and sometimes those people happen to be on your opponent's ships, meaning the people at the table might have the person you're looking for in their ship as a worker, or providing them with an ability, and so you have to combat people to try to take their cargoes and things like that. It is such a fun game. Really, really good game. I really enjoyed it, and I heard the expansion only makes it better. But Star Wars Outer Rim, really cool pick up and deliver game. You have to try this one out if you've never tried it before. Star Wars Outer Rim, let's get it. My next one, I'm surprised that it's not in the frame at all. Like, this thing cut off at a good angle, because this box is massive, and it's a game that almost left my collection, but I just really enjoy playing it. And I'm just gonna scooch over right here. Forgot to contact you about your car's extended warranty. All right, so it's a little ASMR for free. You don't even have to pay a membership for that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Mosaic. Mosaic is a monstrous game. This is the Colossal Edition, the Colossus Edition. And there is a smaller version of this game, which is the normal version. Honestly, you can get that. You don't need this, but this game is incredible, the production value that comes with it. And I really enjoy playing this game. It is a civilization game, which I have not yet dove into the Civ building games. Like, I haven't really got into a ton of civilization games. I think this is actually my first Civ game that I've ever played, but the allure of this game is that it's a Civ building game that you can play in about 2 to 3 hours, versus some of the other ones that can take 4, 5, 6 hours to play. This one actually doesn't take as long, and I've heard that it's a much shorter experience. Very simple too to learn. Like, you're on your turn, you don't get to do very much. It's just kind of like, it reminds me of Scythe. Scythe is like, your movement is, all right, it's your turn. My turn. I'm doing this. I take this, and I do that. Next player. Like, it's quick, like moving. And so turns can take very, very limited amount of time, unless you are playing with people who have a bunch of AP. But Mosaic is incredible. I love this game. I really wish I can get it to the table more, but it is very difficult to get set up and going. So that is my number 59, Mosaic, A Story of Civilization. I gotta push it all the way down to the other side of the table so I can get my next game, which is, oh, actually this one isn't in my collection. This is my biggest regret, to be honest with you, because I really like this game. It just needs a house rule. That's the only thing that's wrong with it. But it was a simple house rule that really honestly made the difference. And that is the Siege of Rohandar. So if you have not seen this game, it is a Reiner Knizia game where the bottom of the box is a gigantic tower. Not a tower, but it's like this big fort, and then there's these trolls that try to go in and steal your gold in the center of your little fort, and you have to try to protect it by battling the monsters off, and also by simultaneously trying to dig a hole out of the side of the cavern and try to work your way out. And then every time you break a new layer of bedrock to get out of the tunnel, some villains will pop out from inside the tunnel, and so you have to try to work your way out. This game is cool. It's just a dice chucking game. It's really fun. It's very simple and easy to learn, and it's a deck builder, and it's cool. And I got rid of it because I just like, it was hard to get it to the table, and it's very long experience. And it's super hard, man. There's a lot against it, but even with all that I had against it, I still regret getting rid of that game. It's so much fun, and I need to get another copy of it. I hope they do a reprinting of this game and that they remix the mechanics a little bit and make it a little faster so that you can get games of it played quicker, and also revamp the difficulty settings for it and add some rules for rolling dice and getting re-rolls and stuff like that, and maybe some character abilities. I think there are some cool changes you can do that game to fix it. But that's it for my number 58, Siege of Rohandar. My number 57 is 2 boxes, but they're the same game, and I think that they're both fantastic. So, I just ran over my toe. All right, so Codenames, which is a really fun game, and Codenames Duet, which is probably my favorite. Codenames is Codenames Duets, or Codenames in general, is just a really cool word game where you have a grid of words, and so you have to try to. There's certain words that in that grid, it's a 5x5 grid. There's certain words that you have to try to get the other person across from you to guess, and if they can, you will take a little spy tile and put it on that word to make them guess the word. So basically what you'll do is, like, let's say on the board you had ice, water, and cold as words. You could say, they have to guess those 3. There's something that they all have in common. Glacier 3, right? And you say Glacier 3, and the other person say Glacier 3, water, ice, cold. Okay, cool. And then so they might say that, or maybe the word boat is out there, and then the person thinks, oh, Titanic, boat, and then you're like, no, not boat, no, it was ice, cold, and water. Like, but it's just a fun game, man. And Codenames is great, where you can play with 4 or more people. I think 4 is the max you should play with it, because I think adding more than that and it gets a little weird. But Codenames Duet is the premier experience for me. Playing it with just across from a person as a cooperative experience is really cool. It's not competitive where you're competing against another team, but I love both Codenames. I think they're both fantastic. That's why they're both in my collection. Next game, my number 56 is a deduction game called The Search for Planet X. So basically there's this big gigantic board where you're trying to locate a hidden planet, and there are certain rules and criteria that the planet follows, and so you have to try to figure out where it is located on this map. And you have to, there's each section of this little circle, right? There's like a circle that's divided up like a pizza, and each one of these little slices has a whole bunch of different things in it. Comets, asteroids, dwarf planet, gas, what was it called? A gas something? Gas clouds. And so you have to determine what's in each of those little slices, and then once you can figure out what's in the slices, you can then go, okay, I think I know where Planet X is, and there's an app that runs the whole thing. It's really cool. It's a great solo experience as well. You can play it solo, but I really like playing this with people, and it is so much fun. Every time we've played it, we've had an amazing time. That is The Search for Planet X, one of my favorite deduction games of all time. My number 55 is a game called Clank in Space. I like Clank. I think Clank is a solid game and a solid system. It's a great deck builder, and it's got this cool racing mechanic to it, so where you're trying to get in there, grab an artifact, and get out. I think the mechanic of, like, when you make noise, you create clank, and then they put those little cubes inside the bag, and then when the enemy attacks, you pull out cubes, and it tells you who he's attacking. I thought that was pretty cool. It's a little bit random, but really fun. I think Clank is a great experience. I just haven't found the right Clank experience for me. I didn't like Clank as much. Then Clank in Space was much better than regular Clank. But then I haven't tried Clank Legacy, and I haven't tried Clank Catacombs, which I feel like those are the ones that I'm going to enjoy the most. But it can be a long game and stuff like that, but it's still in my top 100 because it's still a very, very good game. But sometimes I can be a little bit hating on it, which you might see that in an upcoming video, by the way. Next game on my list is my number 54, which is honestly one of the best Phil Walker Harding games I have ever played, and that's Barren Park. Barren Park is a really cool polyomino placement game where you have a little park, and then you're going to add sections to it, and then you're going to place little polyominoes inside of it. This game is so easy to play, so fun, quick to get to the table. 30 to 45 minutes is all it takes to play it. 2 to 4 players. Really fun, welcoming experience. I think Phil Walker Harding makes the best welcoming games. There's only one Phil Walker Harding game that I don't like that much, and but Barren Park is not one of them. Barren Park is a phenomenal game. I really enjoy it. That is why it is my, what in the world? Oh, that is why my number 54. Next, my number 53 is a really cool game. Kind of new to my collection. It's not that old, but Trekking Through History. I think this is honestly the best trekking game in the whole trekking series. This is a really cool game where you're placing, you're taking and drafting these like time cards, and then when you grab a time card and you put it into your little tableau that you're building up, because you're trying to put the cards in order of their time. So once you place like 52 BC, you can't get 54 BC because you already passed that time up. So it's something like that, and it's really, really fun. There's like a little itinerary which has these little circle-like pieces that are different colors, and you place those on your itinerary, and then if you can line them up sideways or vertically and get a couple in a row, you get extra points for that. And it's just whoever can score the most points after a couple of days of you trekking through history. And the artwork is great. The insert is amazing, and it's even got a neoprene mat. This is one of the coolest, this is one of the best bangs for your buck in a board game because it's got a lot of stuff. So Trekking Through History, amazing experience, takes about 30 to 60 minutes, very, very good. And then my number 52 is Marvel Legendary, and I'm not going to take the whole Marvel Legendary collection out, so I'll just take out my favorite expansion. I love the World War Hulk expansion. It has this mechanic where you play as like you're drafting. Basically, it's a deck builder, but it's like a pure deck builder. So like there's a market of cards. On your turn, you produce resources with the cards that you have and damage, and so you have to do damage to like the enemies in the row, or you've got to draft cards from the market, and you got to try to buy them rather not drafting them. But the cool part is that as you build your deck, you get different heroes who trigger different abilities, and if you do the same color, it'll trigger extra abilities for having the same type of cards as a bonus, which is really cool. I like this one because it has transforming cards where it's like, hey, if you get this many fist icons, you can transform Bruce Banner into Raging Savage Hulk or whatever. And it's super cool because then you get a more powerful card. He gets added to your deck, and then as your deck building, your deck just becomes even more stronger than it already was. I love Marvel Legendary. It's one of my favorite deck builders of all time, and that's why it's my number 52. And my number 51, I just played this not too long ago on live, so if you want to watch that live stream, it was really fun. I had some people helping me, and we were so confused, but we loved it. I played on hard mode for the first time, and I was like, yeah, these are kind of challenging. But Turing Machine is amazing. This is my 51, and I really love this game, not just because it's got this amazing little thing where if you put the box cover on, see how it's got those holes? If you put it on right, you get a check mark, but if you put it on wrong, you get an X. I think this should be industry standard, man, because I think that all games should have that little check mark to make sure you have it on right. Turing Machine is a really cool logic deduction puzzle. It's a little bit like Search for Planet X, but that one has more of like a theme to it. This one's just more of like a Wordle with numbers, but it is super fun. If you're a math person and you like, there's not a ton of math in it, but there's just like pure logic. If you like that, you're gonna love this. And infinite replayability because there's an app with computer-generated puzzles that you can literally play for years. You will never run into the same puzzle twice, which I think is super cool about this game, and I love playing the physical copy of this. I'm glad they made this a board game and it wasn't just an app. This game is so stinking good. It's my favorite deduction game to date, and not social deduction, but just pure logic deduction. Although Cryptid is pretty good, and I'm not sure if that'll show up on the list, but if it does, it might be a little bit higher. But this game is phenomenal. I love Turing Machine. That's my 51. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 10. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about the games in this list. If you've played any of these, if you've only played one of them, tell me what you think about it in the comment section. If you've played 3 of them, tell me about the 3 that you have played and what you think about them. And if you didn't like them, let me know in the comments. And if you do like them, tell me in the comment section, right? Talk to me, guys. I love replying to your comments. That's something that I want to make sure that I'm always doing, is that I always reply to comments. And if you are a member, I will always reply to your comments because you are special to me because you pay me money. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our memberships, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Homie G's.